Hello and welcome to the coaching session from leadershipmentor.com. In our time together this week, I want to share with you one of two coaching models that we have. One coaching model is specifically designed to change behavior. The other one is an ongoing coaching session that we want to have on a regular basis with our team members. So today we're going to talk about the behavior modification. Here we're talking about a coaching session that's specifically focused on a negative behavior that requires change. And so this is a situation where you've observed something, you called that person into your office or to a conference room, someplace private, and you need to specifically go through a coaching session with them to help them understand and change that behavior. So this is just a really simple outline of what that would look like. The first thing we want to make sure we do is identify and agree on the current behaviors. If you observed this firsthand, you would describe what you observed and then get confirmation from the team member that that is in fact the way that they understand their behavior, what they did. Sometimes there's not full agreement, and sometimes you may get your information from a secondhand source, and sometimes that information isn't completely accurate. So the starting point for us is always to agree on what behavior is taking place currently. The next thing we want to do is we want to use coaching questions to identify what the impact of this current behavior is. So a good example of that would be to have the team member simply describe what would happen, what would be the consequences if this behavior continues. And so it depends on what the situation is, but this is a great way to get them to start talking and really thinking about what is the bigger picture of this behavior and why does it need to change? The focus here is to get them to understand the impact of it on their own, not simply by you telling them why they should not be acting in this way. The next thing is the team member then needs to come up with several different solutions. And so as a coach, we would say, give me some examples, some ideas, and a lot of times it's good to give a specific number, like give me three specific actions that you think you can take when you leave here today that will help you to change this behavior. This is going to get the team member involved in the solution. It's going to also help them to feel responsible for it because it's something that they came up with. So the next thing is the coach and the team member need to agree on the best option. And this is pretty simple. All you want to do is make sure that the one that they are committed to will have the best potential outcome. And if there's a couple of them that seem the same, we certainly want to allow the team member to make that choice. But if you are completely against one of the options and you're certain that it's not going to work, we don't want to send the team member out with the commitment to do that if you know that they're going to fail. So there's some coaching and some involvement there from you. The team member then summarizes the action items, and this is really important that before they leave this meeting, this coaching session, it's important that they summarize everything. This is the behavior that I've had. This is what we came up with in terms of the best option, and this is what I'm going to do moving forward. And then the last step in this process is going to be the coach is going to set up a follow-up meeting, and it's important that we set a time frame on when that behavior is going to change. So if we're talking about being late for work, for example, then we may want to give it a few days to make sure that it's not just one day they're on time and then you meet again and say, great job, you've accomplished that. We want to give them probably a week or so to let this play out and make sure that it's being consistently followed. And so that's really the ending point, is just set that follow-up meeting and then you can end the coaching session. The other type of coaching that we would do is performance enhancement. And this one we're going to talk about in our next coaching session, but it's simply the ongoing coaching session where the agenda is really driven more by the team member, not by you as the coach. And it always has a positive tone. And it's key, again, that we make sure that it's positive and that the agenda is driven much more so by the team member than by you. So we'll pick that up next time in our time together. And I hope you found that helpful, and I hope you have a great week.